Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you to the Cape Town Youth Choir and their conductor, Leon Starker, for that moving performance of Utukula. We will hear from the choir again a bit later. We are very proud that the choir represents not only UCT students, including not only students, but many UCT students as well, many young adults and high school learners from different Cape Town communities. Please give them another round of applause. I invite the UCT Chancellor, Mrs. Graça Machel, to constitute this congregation.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I constitute this assembly a congregation of the University of Cape Town.
Please rise to join the Cape Town Youth Choir in singing the South African National Anthem. seated. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite the President of the Student Representative Council, Mr. Sanda Lubelo, to read the university dedication.
At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life, and to address the challenges of our society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom and responsibility, and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our benefactors and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those of you who will graduate today, we wish courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by those values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond. A love of truth and of learning, and of this, our university.
Thank you, Asanda. UCT's opera graduates often go on to perform on stages around the world to tremendous critical acclaim. I believe that you will understand why when you listen to the combined voices of 3 UCT final year students. Sinasipo Funo, Tandiswa Impongwana, and Komisa Garishe, who are all completing their diplomas in music performance opera this year. They will perform works by David Foster and Ennio Morricone, and will be accompanied by Tertia Visser. Please give them a warm welcome. Sinasipo, Tandiswa, Inkumisa, Tertia, you were absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much. We were reminded again why UCT, South African College of Music, is such a jewel. Let me also say that the next time you have the privilege of hearing and seeing them perform, it's going to cost you a lot of money. The University of Cape Town, as is the case with all public universities in the country, is governed in terms of law. The council is the most senior governance structure. The majority of members are external to the university, and the chairperson of the UCT Council is Mr. Sipho Pityana. And I have the pleasure to invite Mr. Pityana to the podium.
Well, welcome and thank you everybody for being here. What an amazing melody. When those three ladies took to the podium, I expected to hear something that sounds like Mqanduli. And when I listened to that beautiful choir over there, I expected that something that sounded like Vienna. And guess what? It was vice versa. I suspect, Madam Chancellor, that this attests to the beauty and the wealth of endowment that comes with diversity. After all, despite our different cultures and looks, we are all Africans. Please allow me to welcome you all to this auspicious occasion. I indeed would like to acknowledge all the esteemed guests that we have in our midst, vice-chancellors from various universities, former vice-chancellors, various dignitaries. We are really encouraged by your presence and would like to express our sincere gratitude that you saw fit to leave other commitments that you may have had to share with us this very special occasion. This applies to you especially, Madam Chancellor, given your tight and difficult and busy schedule, that you saw fit to make this time to be here on this occasion, very important occasion in the life of the university, to join us as we are proudly about to robe our new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Mamokgethi Phakeng, as the Vice-Chancellor of this esteemed institution. It is significant that this moment, so symbolic, when Council took its decision in March, it was a decision that was received with overwhelming positive response, not only across the length and breadth of our country, but in various places across the world that one had the occasion to visit. Her academic leadership and her credentials generally are not only impeccable, but also are what we have come to expect as the institution of the leaders that assume this role. Some of her forerunners are here with us today on stage, and I would like to warmly acknowledge their presence, and I suggest that it does indicate a great deal of their continued commitment to the welfare of this institution that they are here with us today. Professor Phakeng, we believe in her we have chosen a leader who appreciates that in a fast-changing world, and indeed a country and institution grappling with transformation, we have chosen an intellectual who has an appreciation that she is expected and appreciates that there is no contradiction necessarily between pursuit of excellence and innovation and transformation as two mutually reinforcing ideals in society. She understands that to do this, this institution and she, and as well as her colleagues, must connect with the people fully so that they meaningfully and understand that education does not happen in a vacuum, but is deeply impacted by our society and issues it throws up, and that if an institution were to continue to achieve the heights we expect of ourselves, we have to not only adapt and respond to the realities around us, but also pioneer and innovate. We are therefore charged to rediscover the value of organic intellectualism. We have, over the next few days, are going to see over 7,000 UCT students who will have the occasion to graduate, some of whom would not have graduated without the support in the short time that she's been there, of Professor Phakeng raising funds to ensure that they have the opportunity to take their certificates and look for work. Isn't 7,000 fantastic? I'm sure you will agree with me that their success is testimony that academic achievement is possible and that struggles and obstacles are surmountable. And I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of those students who will be graduating. As you all know, the university is a microcosm of a wider society, and that our staff and students deal with the same kind of problems that we see in our communities, which include poverty and inequality, gender issues, mental illness, the effects of climate change on our water supply, among other things, and the impatience with the slow pace of transformation, to name just a few. Around the globe, the search for answers to the vast and complex challenges that we face is indeed an earnest one. As we play our part in the research, and indeed the search, we must also consider how these impact our students in their daily lives. I believe that Professor Phakeng, like her predecessors, is ready to lead this institution in responding to these issues in her own very unique way. As council, we welcome Professor Phakeng's refreshing and unambiguous assertion of the compatibility of the pursuit of excellence and society's socio-political aspirations for transformation. She has introduced a fresh approach to how we celebrate excellence in its many forms and how we address difficult issues. As a leader of Africa's highest-ranked university, she is committed to taking this institution into a more sustainable future because it elevates and emphasizes the good that all of us can do as diverse communities, regardless of our differences from one another. She recognizes the enhanced potential for even greater excellence when we nurture our diversity. Our nation's dream of a non-racial and non-sexist society, as enshrined in our Constitution, is only made possible when such leadership emerges. Her vision is not only that of council and the university as a whole, but it is one that is shared by so many across the world. We know that Professor Phakeng's journey will not always be easy, but that is why it is important that the leadership is publicly acknowledged here today in the manner that we are doing through this gathering. Of course, any leader in the public arena will attract scrutiny. Prof. Phakeng has not only and will not shy away from making decisions and statements that will from time to time attract critical commentary. Her goal, as she has stated repeatedly, is to get us to discuss the issues about which we disagree. If she shied away from this, she'll be the very antithesis of what intellectualism is all about. I challenge all of you today and the rest of community to work together with her in confronting these difficult issues that she'll be looking for solutions to. It's noteworthy, Madam Chancellor, that UCT is now led by its second female Vice-Chancellor, and that 2 of Professor Phakeng's out of 4 Deputy Vice-Chancellors are women, and 1 position remains vacant. And I suspect the point I'm making is the university's commitment to gender diversity. I do want to warn you, though, Professor Phakeng, and say this, that often your academic credentials will matter less, as every word you utter, how you dress, your makeup or lack of it, the femininity of your etiquette, how wide or narrow you open your mouth when you laugh. All of these things will be scrutinized to show how much you lack and unsuited to the role. But please, ensure that UCT appreciates that in you it has an African woman from humble beginnings as its Vice-Chancellor, and that in you we expect that you temper the culture of the environment, its disposition, and its outlook. You must let us feel that an African woman is in charge and she's arrived and the institutional culture begins to shake. I will be there and I'll be watching very closely, and I will say to you at every moment, if you fail in this regard, our transformation effort will have suffered tremendous setback. I'll be a steady hand, critical from time to time, together with my colleagues on council, but you can be assured of our success to ensure your success as the leader of this institution. Of course, the path of women in leadership in our society generally is neither smooth nor easy. It attracts even greater scrutiny, and you'll be no exception. Our Chancellor is a remarkable and extraordinary leader, and you know that. Ms. Graça Machel is the 5th Chancellor of the University of Cape Town. She has worked tirelessly all her adult life to support education initiatives and needs of children in the developing world generally. She is deeply passionate about education and the plight of children in developing world, and has been a major force in increasing literacy and schooling in Mozambique, and has spoken for the rights of children, families, and communities from various platforms across the world. Your pledge, Madam Chancellor, in August of this year, together with the former Vice-Chancellor of this institution, Dr Mamphela Ramphele, to support our Vice-Chancellor, to allow that follows that of Professor Ndebele, who enthusiastically endorsed her in her bid to become Vice-Chancellor of this institution. And indeed, the subsequent resounding support and endorsement from Dr. Saunders, a former Vice-Chancellor of this institution. I guess this speaks to the wealth of goodwill that you have from your successors, which is echoed across not only the length and breadth of this country from various parts of the continent and other alumni and other associates of this institution from various parts of the world. You must take full advantage of it. It is my privilege and honor to now invite Mrs. Machel to the podium to introduce our Vice-Chancellor. Thank you very much.
The Chair of the Council of the University of Cape Town, Chancellors of universities who are honoring this occasion with us, Vice-Chancellors, former and current Vice-Chancellors. I will mention particularly 2 former Vice-Chancellors of this university. My dear sister, Mamphela, who was the first female Vice-Chancellor, black female, and Professor and our esteemed Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ndebele. We have amongst us also new Vice-Chancellor of the University of Pretoria, our friend, Vice-Chancellor from the University of Wits, and many, many other distinguished guests. We really appreciate your presence, and we thank you very much for joining us today. I want also to welcome every and each one of you, because this occasion is of particular importance for our university. In your own capacity, I really welcome you and embrace you so that together we celebrate this exceptional occasion for our institution. I have the honor now to introduce our new Vice-Chancellor. Professor Phakeng is a decorated researcher and academic. She is the first Black female South African to obtain a PhD in mathematics education. She is a winner of the award of National Science and Technology Forum for most outstanding senior Black female researcher. She is a recipient of the Order of the Baobab for excellent contribution in the field of science. She is awardee of Kambule Research. She is award winner of National Research Foundation Tukuka. These are just a few of her outward-facing accolades. There are no awards to recognize, however, what can be considered as some of her more important achievements. She is a barrier breaker. She's a speaker of truth to power. She is a challenger of well-entrenched social and gender norms. She personified academic excellence. These are just a few of her accomplishments that come with no formal badges of honor. However, we are so thankful that this powerhouse of a young Black female comes to our doors so well equipped with these important traits and emboldened by her trailblazing personal journey. Her unique makeup will serve her well in the role of Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Town. I already know this because she had shown her fortitude of character from her first moments on our campus. Today, for example, there's not the usual pomp and circumstance surrounding a Vice-Chancellor's installation. This morning, unusually, it is a modest robing and graduation ceremony which comes at her own request. Instead of the university paying for its usually grandiose affair to celebrate its new leadership, She has instead directed its resources to pay for the unsettled fees of over 100 students who have yes, again, yes. I am over 100 students who have completed their studies but have been unable to graduate due to their outstanding debts. As a result of her deep sense of compassion and community, today we have graduates from the classes of 2015, 2016, 2017 who will receive their hard-earned diplomas and become formally, yes. So they will become formally credentialed to share their talents with the world and fully benefit from their UCT education. This is the Vice-Chancellor we are welcoming today. And there's still more coming. This fine example of servant leadership is coupled with her declaration that she will donate 10% of her salary monthly to supporting women students. Yes. This generosity of spirit and the way in which she lives her values is unparalleled and exemplary. Professor Phakeng has a vision of building an internationally respected, proudly African institution of the highest caliber that is reflective of our values and representative of South Africa's rich diversity. She has outlined the 3 critical pillars to support our continued evolution into a world-class academic institution. 1, pillar of excellence. 2, transformation. And 3, sustainability. And I urge the entire UCT community to embrace and champion these pillars and work together to have them define our identity. As a young, brilliant Black STEM academic, Professor Phakeng's constitution alone is a statement of transformation. No wonder her vision is equally transformative. She is ushering a new chapter in the life of this fine institution. Built upon a legacy which has brought UCT to rank amongst the best of universities globally. Our scholarship, our curriculum, our faculty, our student body, our academic partnerships, and our community are all top-notch. Ours is an African institution that can proudly compete with some of the finest universities found anywhere in Asia, Europe, and the Americas. Our knowledge is generated and published by African minds, paid for by African taxpayers. We have to own the fruits of our labor without prejudice. This institution is ours. We have shaped and molded it into what it is today and what it must become in the future. We must dismantle any guilt around our history, and we must work earnestly towards it, moving from a past entrenched in racial discord to one proudly reflecting the diverse fabric of our society. We have groundbreaking pockets of excellence that are contributing to meeting the societal challenges we face as South Africa and Africans, and indeed as citizens of the world. Our Gender Institute, African Gender Institute, is giving a prominent platform to feminism and issues of gender on the continent. Our Karoo Predator Project is a one-of-a-kind, multidisciplinary study of the social, economic, and ecological drivers of human-wildlife conflict in Karoo. Our graduate School of Business is internationally renowned as one of just three triple-crowned business schools in Africa. And our national astrophysics and space science program is a world-leading and multi-institution consortium at the cutting edge of PhD studies in astronomy, astrophysics, and the space science. I could go on and on. However, one must always strive to do better, to do bigger, and to do differently. As for sacred as our standing is, there is much room for improvement. This new era that Professor Phakeng is ushering in is one where we must see Black scholars multiply and strive. We must develop both the quantity and the quality of Black students, faculty, and administrators alike. We must provide an environment where Black excellence is nurtured, incentivized, valued, and integrated fully into the structures of academia. Black women are South Africa's largest demographic, but one of the most significantly underrepresented in universities. They must take inspiration from our new Vice-Chancellor and challenge themselves in STEM, as well as thrive for highest of leadership positions, no matter their field or sector. We need more of Lerato Hlakas from our Department of Pathology, for example, who was amongst the 14 exceptional young female African scientists to be honored with the laureate UNESCO for Women in Science doctoral fellowship just last week in Nairobi. We need more of our Black female talent to stand tall and be counted so prominently. In closing, I invite all of us to support Professor Phakeng in her tenure and work to bring us closer to our vision, which I will remind us we are to bring to life. I quote, "An inclusive and engaged research-intensive African university that inspires creativity through outstanding achievements in learning, discovery, and citizenship, enhancing the lives of its students and staff, advancing a more equitable and sustainable social order, and influencing the global higher education landscape, unquote. I welcome Professor Phakeng with my most profound and best of wishes. With the highest of hopes and steadfast of support. You will count on us. We have made it very clear even before this ceremony. We take pride in every single of the initiatives you are going to undertake in this university. And we are absolutely sure that you are going to take it to highest levels of excellence. And this completes your beauty, your energy, your commitment, your uncompromising commitment and decision to be yourself, but also to carry with you all the African children who will be looking up to you and say, yes, we also can. Welcome, my little girl. So, do I stand back?
Thank you, Chancellor. I now invite the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Phakeng, to rise for her robing. I invite the Chair of Council to present Professor Phakeng to the Chancellor.
Chancellor, I present to you Professor Mamokgethi Phakeng to be installed to the office of the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Cape Town and to be invested with a gown of office, after which she will sign the UCT book.
I invite the Chancellor to invest Professor Phakeng with her gown of office. We now proceed to the signing of the UCT Golden Book. Professor Phakeng has just appended a signature to a page from that book that bears the signatures of previous Vice-Chancellors, 3 of whom are present with us today. I think we can give her another round of applause. I call on Siyabonga Njika.
There are revolutions waiting to happen inside our hearts. There are revolutions waiting to happen inside our hearts. May we fear not to confront our callings by choosing to answering the system's ones. May these sounds serve to summon ourselves closer to this, our fading fire. Somebody said the messiahs whom our synergies awaken when our subconsciouses are in sync. See, we think much like those who graduated to the soil with obituaries, the only tangible accounts of their terminated lives to the system. The system swung lies to hide from our eyes the truth and grandeur it is and was to be black. So let us thread back to our shredded roots and immerse our youth to the rhythm that lost its rhyme along the way. For our amnesia of history will convert our cultures into phenomena that the oppressors exploit to make profits from. May we remember that there are generations of brown blended boys who await your contributions. May we remember that there are conversations to be had with golden little girls to galvanize them into godly women. May we teach them that their skin is an extended metaphor of the fertile soil that they walk on. That many like them continue to sweat and toil only to have the spoils dispossessed of the dignity of our people during slavery. See, there will come a time when history pages will burn and their ashes will build bridges for you to write your own. There will come a time when children will choose to challenge their given norms and conclude that true wisdom is actually found here at home. There will come a time when a beggar's brown, battered palms will bear books instead of society's half-heartedly given coins. There will come a time when forgotten fathers will furnish their closed doors and open to those they left on their own. So when this time comes, pure holes will bring back from the darkness the hearts and minds of consumed family men. Pens will press on pages without ink so that even the blind can feel the messages embedded within. When this time comes, churches will refuse the people's offerings as prophets and appreciate their presence instead. When this time comes, race will be a race long worn where all colors and creeds cross the finish line simultaneously. Their podium will boast of an equal platform as a symbol that we are all united, that we are all one. When this time comes, time will stand almost as to understand that our heartbeats are more valuable than the rotating ticks made by the clock's second hand. See, people will marvel at the ever-present moon and they will shun at the sun from setting from their sights too soon, and they will argue that all that glitters probably is not gold. There are stories desperately begging to be told. See, these stories are begging to be told by those who carry lost souls to the tip of their pens. Stories of our 6 feet bound, beloved South Africa, bruising broken hearts better than those it can mend. Stories untold to those who behold that black is not the absence of color, but the presence of a pigment of skin that resembles power. Black is not the absence of color, but the presence of a pigment of skin that resembles power. Black is not the absence of color, but the presence of a pigment of skin that resembles power. There are stories desperately begging to be told. There are revolutions waiting to happen inside our hearts. But if you're not to confront our callings by choosing to answering the system's ones, there are revolutions waiting to happen inside your hearts. But if you're not to confront our callings by choosing to answering the system's ones. Thank you.
That was Siyabonga Njika. Thank you, Siyabonga, for that moving rendition of your poem, There Will Come a Time. Siyabonga is a Gugulethu-born spoken word artist and a UCT alumnus, of course. He's currently studying towards a PhD at the University of Cambridge. The Vice-Chancellor has been robed. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Phakeng to address the congregation.
For the microphone.
mo tseleng ga feta ena kgaitsedi a serufe le dikeledi ke motho a mokolobotlo ditombo kwa ka o difaga boeta mafodi a makgala motho a etetseng bo motho kwa ka se gaufi ke motho a bothipa ke motho a bophutha mogodi wa bo motlhe se a nyatseng ka selepe a mo senyetse monyako ka selepe a se re ke bone sefefe sefefe sa motho a se rokela dikobo ke Mamokgethi ke Mankgoshi setlogolo sa ba lesola mogwasha ke Matebele ke ba lesola magwasha ke mallela go tuma o busha ba sa gollele batho ba ba tswang ko thogwaneng ga se masifiri se boko batho ba bofa thaba ka letswa la thaoga thaba ya sala halala mokhatla di hoge mokhatla
Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my ghetto fabulous mother. If you come from the township, you will know that there are people in the community that you don't have to put on the program, they take it over. My mother is one of those, right? Ladies and gentlemen, my mother is one of those. Now, Chair, you understand the energy that you get from me. She takes over more things than this. But it's amazing. Thank you, Mamutlana, for that, reminding me who I am. I always tell my colleagues about praise poems and how we grew up with praise poems, that we come from a family where my mother breaks into a poem when you go out to school, when you come back from school, when you get your results, just as a way to remind you who we are, to remind us who we are, what we're made of, how brave we are. Even though we grew up poor, you embedded something big in us. The Chancellor of the University of Cape Town, Graça Machel, members of the Provincial Cabinet, the Chair of Council, Mr. Sipho Pichana, Vice-Chancellors of other universities, Deputy Vice-Chancellors of UCT and other universities, members of Senate, members of the Institutional Forum, the President of the SRC, Madam President, and UCT students, the President of Convocation and members of Convocation, generous donors and alumni, distinguished guests, friends, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you all for your warm reception here today, and welcome to UCT, and thank you for sharing this special moment with me, for coming to witness the wonderful achievements of our amazing graduates. I have to say, as I look at you, you're a most beautiful sight. And of course, today is day number 165 since I've been in office. And it's very special to have each one of you in the audience to share this special moment. It is an enormous honor to stand here today as Vice-Chancellor of Africa's leading university, an institution that is acknowledged globally for its excellence in teaching and learning, research, and social responsiveness. It is truly a profound privilege, may I say, even a little scary. What will the fashion police tweet today? What will they write about my outfit, perhaps the gown, tomorrow on social media? Well, perhaps too blue, perhaps too short, perhaps too tight, perhaps too sexy. I wonder if this gown I'm wearing right now has got special powers. When you wear this gown, after a certain hour at night, maybe it's got special powers. Maybe I can fly out in it like Superwoman. Thank you to the UCT community for your support, not only in confirming my appointment as Vice-Chancellor, but in the support so many staff and students have expressed since I took office on the 1st of July this year. This strengthens my resolve to make a positive difference in the life of this great university. I welcome, in particular, the former UCT Vice-Chancellors who have done me the honor of being here today. Dr. Stuart Saunders, Dr. Mamphela Ramphele, Professor Njabulo Ndebele, they are all here. And Dr. Max Price, my immediate predecessor, who could unfortunately not be here. Collectively, you have shepherded the institution through multiple significant achievements and milestones and through challenging and sometimes dark and tumultuous periods over the last almost 40 years. I thank you and your leadership teams for your good governance and the integrity of your stewardship. You have left You have left in my hands an incredible gem, a gift of sorts that has the potential to change lives and to change society for the better. It is my deepest intention and commitment to further your wonderful work, to advance UCT to ensure its sustainability for generations to come. I noticed the previous Vice-Chancellors have all kept their gowns. Clearly, this gown might have superpowers. I don't think Professor Ndebele will tell me, but I bet Dr. Mamphela will. I would like to know, Dr. Mamphela, about the superpowers. I'm told the job is tough, so I will need the superpowers, and maybe they're in the gown. But of course, this event, this ceremony, is not about me. It's about celebrating our special graduates. Over the next 2 days, some 1,885 students will graduate from UCT, including 118 doctoral and 780 master's graduates, bringing our total number of graduates at UCT for 2018 to over 7,000 students. So we thought to have this special graduation ceremony and also use it to serve as a welcome of the new Vice-Chancellor. Oftentimes, Vice-Chancellors tell you who they are, or the other people during the ceremonies, the inauguration ceremonies tell you who they are. We thought not to have an inauguration, but to have you come and experience who we are by what we do, through our graduates, through how we do it. And so our doctoral graduates are particularly important to us, and we'll celebrate a lot of them in the next 2 days, because their research tackles many of the topics that are core to the university's strategic plan and have deep impact on society. For example, this year, some of the PhD undertaken focused on, among other fields, the life cycle sustainability assessment of next-generation energy infrastructure in Africa. We have one that focuses on the response of Southern African vegetation to drought in past and future climates. We've got another that focuses on the impact of sovereign credit rating changes on financial market returns in Africa. And there are many PhD graduates here today. Many will graduate in ceremonies this afternoon and over the course of the day tomorrow. And please give a round of applause and loud ululation for these exceptional individuals and their families, supervisors, and teachers. UCT is very proud of you. All the graduates, especially our PhD graduates. Join me in giving them a round of applause. I want you to imagine this. Between the time the sun rose this morning and the time it will set this evening, a number of babies will be born in homes, some in clinics, some in shacks, some in hospitals across South Africa. This group of children will arrive in diverse circumstances. Some will be born in wealth, others in poverty, some in love, others in violent situations. A few will be privileged and many more disadvantaged. Some will be black, some incredibly intelligent, some will be queer, and some will be female. One might even be a black, incredibly intelligent, queer female. Now, talk about superpowers. The question we must ask ourselves and must ask of each other is what we can do to ensure that the true, almost limitless potential of this group of children is realized. That they have the best possible opportunity to succeed and live the excellence that is inside of them and can one day benefit those around them. There are ample examples of people who have done exactly that in our world, who are living or have lived those values, committing their lives in service of community and society. Our Chancellor, Mrs. Machel, has a life history that fully embodies this commitment to uplift, to influence and inform the world positively. The life of her late husband, our beloved Madiba, is perhaps the most striking example we have of such a meaningful, impactful life. And then there's the life and work of Walter and Albertina Sisulu, also excellent examples. Much has been written about such famous lives. The fundamental source of their preeminence are the values of service to the community. Personal integrity, respect for others, authenticity, honesty to themselves and others, steadfast belief in inclusivity and equality and decency, austerity in saving their own ego, unlimited ability to forgive, commitment to hard work, and generosity of spirit that makes them exceptional leaders. It might feel as if these incredible lives are so extraordinary that you should just give up trying to be so amazing or so special as an individual. But sometimes we find these values in ordinary people as well. My mother is an example of a person of such values. When I was in grade 1, she went back to school after being a domestic worker. She had 3 children, and she went back to school to finish higher primary school, and then went on to high school. We studied together through life. When I achieved my doctorate, she got her bachelor's degree at 58 years old. Forgive me, but she's my most favorite graduate of all time. And of course, besides the graduate, you can see, how can you not like that? We see values in a Caster Semenya who, despite great odds, huge pressure, and cruel discrimination, persevered and has overcome. She represents a singular example of pride in who she is, authenticity in herself, persistence, and humility. Her service to others shines through her activism for the LGBTIQA+ issues. What an incredible example she is to all of us. We see the values also in a Thuli Madonsela, the former public protector who, despite death threats, abuse, and public attacks, stayed steadfast in her values of integrity and truth, working without fear or favor. She remained true to how she saw her office. She likened her role as public protector to the Venda chief's paternal aunt known as Vomakadze, a non-political figure who gives the people a voice while giving the traditional leader a conscience. We saw it in Nkosi Johnson, a child AIDS activist who was born with HIV and died at the age of 12 in 2001. At his tender age, and while terminally ill, he fought for the rights of children suffering with the virus, setting off a revolution. His legacy and the struggle against HIV and AIDS continues. We see it in the life of our own student, the disability rights activist Kylie Mycroft, who, born with cerebral palsy, has been honored worldwide for her crusading work that benefits the lives of so many disabled children. She's the first woman quadriplegic to summit Mount Kilimanjaro in Tanzania, the highest mountain in Africa. She was also the first wheelchair athlete to complete the Comrades Marathon. This was the first time in the Comrades' 95-year-old history that a wheelchair athlete had successfully lobbied organizers to have the rules changed which barred such athletes from participating. Superpowers, no doubt. We see it in the AIDS activist Fezekile Ntsukela Kuzwayo, better known as Kwezi, who accused a powerful man and friend of her father of rape. She endured humiliation, death threats, and a devastating backlash that saw her flee for her safety. Despite her accuser being acquitted, she sparked a national debate about rape culture. Her unwavering courage in the most complex of circumstances is a lesson to us all. I hear it daily in speaking with students, in the stories of graduates, many who, despite enormous obstacles, persevered. They worked hard, deprived themselves in order to succeed. Some failed and tried again. Some were excluded, and they came back to fight through hard work and resilience until they qualified and can now call themselves graduates. You, graduates of today, are a special group of graduating students. You also overcame enormous challenges to qualify for your degree. Many of you were not able to graduate when you qualified as you could not pay the student debt you owed. And we've been fortunate to have donors, corporates, and individuals who were willing to help us to make sure that you graduate. But why did we do that? We did that because we believe that it is incredibly important that you graduate, that you stand here at your graduation ceremony and make a commitment to go from here and not only contribute to our economy, but also to other people's lives. Do good. It is important that this country benefits from your skills, your education, and your talents. The community needs you. The children born on your graduation day need you. Your fellow citizens need you. Lucky for us and for you, a group of donors made a generous in service of others gift to make sure that you can graduate and have the opportunity to give back. This money was used to offset your financial debt, making today's graduation ceremony possible. This is what I meant when I indicated soon after I started as Vice-Chancellor that I did not want a costly inauguration ceremony. Instead, I wanted the money to go to where there is a need, where it benefits not only an individual, but the collective and those who may be in need. This approach also aligns with my thinking that the Vice-Chancellor's office, my position, my work, must act as an enabler for others. My office and the university leadership's main task is to unlock opportunity for others, is to open doors, connect the resources with the need that exists, create a platform for success of the members of our community, academic and citizens. In my view, the Vice-Chancellor's success is measured mostly in the achievements of graduates and staff, in the impact we make in the country and in the positive change we make. To these generous donors who helped us make sure that we have this ceremony today, we owe an enormous gratitude. I request you graduates to accept their gift to you in deep gratitude. Then choose to follow their example. I challenge you to choose to follow their example in giving to others who may be less fortunate. We always need more, and we don't give from excess. Real and true giving doesn't come from what you have in excess. So I challenge you to follow the examples and give, not because you have more, but because you can see the need. Congratulations, graduates. We salute you. You are an example to others that it is possible. You pursued your dreams despite the challenges that you have. And here we are today celebrating you. It is possible, no matter where you are born, how disadvantaged you are, it is possible for each one of us to achieve our dreams. You and your families should be proud. You make all of us at UCT incredibly proud. You are also a special group of graduates for another reason. You are in the first graduation ceremony since the UCT Council made the decision to change the name of the Memorial Hall, this hall that we are in right now, to the Sarah Baartman Hall. Named after the Khoikhoi heroine, Sarah Baartman. Hers is a tragic story of slavery, humiliation, and severe torture. A life stolen by others, robbed from all her potential and her creativity. This is a very important symbolic step in the ongoing transformation of our university, UCT. In this way, we hope to honor her memory and restore to her name the dignity that was so brutally taken from her in the 19th century. She's a potent symbol of the new campus community we are building and in some ways a symbol for all women in our history who, for different reasons and at the hands of different colonizers, lost the opportunity to share their talents and abilities with the world. Graduands, the education you have received is a precious privilege and gift. You have to treat it with respect, nurture it, value it, and use it wisely. Understand the immense responsibility you have now, bestowed with this gift that you receive today. And therein lies the choice. This is my challenge to you and on your graduation day. Energize yourself with the change you want to see in the world. Let that and your anger at what is wrong with society today be the fuel that drives your efforts to transform things rather than just complain about why things are the way they are. You don't have to start big. Start small. Make it your business. Give even if you have little. Convince others to give with you. Volunteer to help. Commit to making a difference. I challenge you to use your education, this precious gift that is still denied to so many, to serve your community and your society. To help achieve the dream of a future that is more just, equal, fair, humane, and inclusive for all. I challenge you to set your superpower dials to in service. I am thrilled by the vision that our collective efforts, all our special powers unleashed on the wicked problems of the world and in service of others, will result in a new, better, and kinder world. Our collective efforts, underpinned by the principle that all people have equal worth, no matter their history, background, wealth, may in the end prove our lives and work to not only be successful, but to be profoundly transformative and a force for greater good. Can we dare dream that the children born between sunrise and sunset today will benefit from the impact we make, and that they find a better world because of your efforts and because of your choices and your life's work? Might they, in turn, unleash their glorious potential, their incredible superpowers and creativity on the world to be of service and to do good? The idea here is to recruit more people to do good in service of others. If you dare to accept my challenge today, what a wonderful miracle might unfold in our country and in our world. Congratulations on your wonderful achievement, and I hope to see you in service, doing good. I thank you.
The Vice-Chancellor has delivered a message to which there are multiple dimensions, infusing in one process a message of hope, of inspiration, reality, vision, fortitude, and purpose. The profound importance to dare to dream, to harness imagination, and to confront challenges through the choices must certainly resonate. Thank you, Professor Phakeng. And I'm sure that this congregation would wish again to express its congratulations to you. We will now proceed with the second part of today's ceremony and conduct the graduation of qualifiers. Sangi M.
Umtung kumtung kabantu. Dlela ngendlela osibonise ngayo ubuntu. Khaya mdini lesizwe nenhlanga. Dlezana mdini emvuze bububele. I am not talking about the change of the society. Today I see lust, greed for power and wealth. But UCT has opened its doors to free education for all. UCT has opened its doors to the Rainbow Nation to come in and feast on the powerful knowledge. Namhlanje siyanqunqa, siyagida, siyatyikimba. Namhlanje siyembesa, bayathwesa, bathwasile. Bompheleleni noyongo. Bakheleleni iqhwane lityetyisiweyo. Bomphathiseni ingubo yempumelelo. Bompheleleni nityityibe madoda luphukhwelo. Sunane zonyembezi zeqhela kaloku ninina zovuyo. Ngoba umquqe udutyela uvuthiwe madoda. Yithani ithemba mqala uzawuginya. Hayi makwathina sincuba likhopho. Nina nimabela abhonxileyo aphuma ubusi namasi. Apho zonke zinsana zincela khona. Uqhatsoni lufezile madoda. Mandu agawule nduarhuqa ke ngoku madoda. Galela ndifinqe ndomile. Ndayosithela yeha.
Thank you, Sangi. Sangi is a multi-talented artist, a creative arts and music teacher and UCT graduate, specializing in African and Western classical music. She writes and she recites praise in Bongo for all UCT graduation ceremonies. She has traveled in various countries singing Afro jazz, traditional African music, and Afro pop. She completed her honors in education B.Ed earlier this year. Thank you, Sangi. I invite the Chancellor to confer the degrees on the graduates. Where's the mic?
There's a text which I don't know. By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I admit to the degree specified and granted the diploma specified to the candidates recorded as in absentia. I shall now grant the diplomas and admit to the degree specified the candidates to be presented to me.
I call upon
It's MC.
I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to present the graduates to the Chancellor.
Oh my goodness. They usually give me that prescriptive today.
Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the Advanced Diploma in Business Project Management the following candidates: Lindelani Samuel Bubuluma, Engel Khatin Kavezuva, Idris Kisenga Musongo Kayembe, Kwezi Ngqukana, Nontutuzelo Grace Mkhwechana, Kwezi Ngqukana, Gershwin Pinar, for the postgraduate diploma in accounting, Karnisha Anesu Rusike. Nicole Terren van Rooyen. For the advanced diploma in business project management, Semi Tataya ona Radipiti. For the postgraduate diploma in management in business and systems analysis, Landile Lloyd Bengan. Nolukolo Chwete. Lichelle N. Williams. Patience Nokolo Tolashe. For the postgraduate diploma in management in marketing, Mpho Lydia Chuma. Billie Jean Dimas. Tracy Lee George. Kayakazi Jabulile Mabude. Timothy Maestri Foster. Theonodorfus Nube. Zikhona Tswaku. For the postgraduate diploma in management, postgraduate diploma in management in sports management, Tapiwa Brandon Musara. For the postgraduate diploma in management practice, Tapiwa Brandon Musara, no, we call that. For the postgraduate diploma in management practice, Fundiswa Faith Josie. For the postgraduate diploma in public sector accounting, Loiso Lawrence Faniso. Monique Morta, Yonique Morta. Dudley Tanaka Mutero. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Machel Akuzwe Bakanyize. Rumbizai Roseli Munowenyu. For the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Honors in Economics, in the first class, Sipesihle Sabelo Zwane. For Honors in Financial Analysis and Portfolio Management, Tinotenda Barbara Chikumbu. Tabang Makate. Estenia Peladi Matenji. Kumoitile ki weditse mokone. For Honors in Information Systems, Sodiq Jacobs. Valerie Mujinga Chiani. For Honors in Tax, Technical and Compliance, Nicolette Carol Brown. Ongezwa Zamafaku Tikiso. Sibabalwe Spelele Dimaza. Madiha Peter Langa. Thandiswa Jacqueline Leswetsa. Nozipho Princess Mpanza. Inami Nkosi Ncapayi. Naledi Ntondini. Vincent Paul Pillay. For the degree of Master of Business Administration in Executive Program, the Executive Program, Mpho Miriam Ngwepe. For the degree of Master of Commerce in Development Finance, Luis Kaikurere Mugenje. Master of Commerce in Information Systems, Helen Poku. For the postgraduate diploma in project management, Kanyisa Prudence Mabunda. For the degree of Bachelor of Architectural Studies, Deva Azure Burstra Argue. Dane Brandon September. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Engineering in Mechanical Engineering, Tafazwa Chakanyuka. For the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors in Property Studies, Bukelwa Nganekana. For the degree of Master of Engineering in Civil Infrastructure Management and Maintenance, Motlatsi, Simon Moteto. For the postgraduate diploma in disability studies, Khadija Majao. For the postgraduate diploma in healthcare technology management, Michael Mtungwana. For the postgraduate diploma in health economics, ladies and gentlemen, with distinction, Sanelisiwe Jeanette Mziani. For the postgraduate diploma in TB HIV management, Siphamandla Sebastian Mfaku. Kuvanganani Olga Mudau. For the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Rorisang Skosan. Tulisa Viwe Kopele. For the advanced certificates in education, in adult education, Saint Expedite Laman Odzongo. For the higher education, for higher certificate in education and adult education, Tinashe Trust Njanji. For the postgraduate certificate intermediate phase teaching, Nwabi Safuniselo. For the postgraduate certificate in senior phase and FET teaching, Zimasa Zelda Jani. Ngeti Sehodi. For the degree of Bachelor of Social Science, Tshegofatso Richard Mabusela. For the degree of Bachelor of Music in Dance, Lisa Mateis. For the degree of Bachelor of Social Work, Tatenda Kaponda. For the degree of Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Gender and Transformation, Ngwabani Bruce Ngubani. Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Social Policy and Management, Nonkululeko Precious Memela. For the degree of Bachelor of Education Honors, Baba Alwa Anastasia Buba. Afikile Mzinzi. For the degree of Master of Laws in Commercial Law, Doreen Mwendwa Kiogora. Felicity Ndo. For the degree of Master of Laws, okay. For the degree of Master of Laws in Shipping Law, Akona Baninzi. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, Frederick Jeffrey Chikwaza. For the degree of Bachelor of Science Honors in Computer Science, Frida Mutoni Majaria. Madam Chancellor, I'll now introduce to you some of the graduands who we have invited to this ceremony as inspiring graduands. For their special stories, of course, every graduate has got a special story. Every graduation has got a story behind it. We've selected a few to share their stories as part of this celebration of the new beginning of the institution. It is now my honor to present to you our final few students from 5 of our 6 faculties that we would like to sing aloud, Madam Vice-Chancellor. With the permission, I'm sharing their stories with you. They embody excellence and have achieved incredible results despite often facing tough challenges. Together, these individuals exemplify the kind of excellence that we know that each of our graduates embodies. Also, they are role models to others, and it is possible to get to the graduation platform despite many obstacles. By hearing about just a few students' experiences today, we hope to make our campus a more tolerant one, in which everyone can be proud of their backgrounds and in which staff and students understand one another better. And first, I introduce Sonwabo Ngelwane. From a young age, Sonwabo has viewed education as the key to rising above one's circumstances. When Sonwabo arrived at UCT as a young Graça initiate and student activist in 1987, it was during the state of emergency when the police incursions onto campus were common. After gaining his undergraduate degree here, he obtained his Bachelor of Education at the University of the Western Cape. He went on to teach in Khayelitsha for 10 years, then worked for the Western Cape Department of Education and EduLoan before joining UCT Institutional Planning Department in 2008. Now heading up the Engaged Scholarship Portfolio in the Research Office, Sonwabo's lifelong commitment to education will today see him receiving a Master of Social Science in Sociology with distinction, his 3rd degree and 5th tertiary qualification. He dedicates Sonwabo dedicates his outstanding achievement to what he fondly calls the amazing women who inspired him to learn and learn and learn. His grandmother, Boniswa Ngelwane, mother, Mpumelelo Ngelwane, and aunts, Nomvuyo and Dorothy. Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge Sonwabo's family and their support and applause to this incredible academic journey and excellence that he has achieved as he walks to the Chancellor's desk to be kept. For those members of staff that are on the platform party, especially, the next exceptional graduate will be familiar to you. If you attend as many graduations as I do, Alexios Vigatos. He normally sits at the organ on the stage. Usually we kept the organ there, and he sits there and plays almost every ceremony, as he did today. Combined with his skill as an organist, he also has an incredible aptitude for science, and today he is awarded the degree of Master of Science in Chemistry with distinction. As an undergraduate, Alexios studied the organ simultaneously with his BSc degree and majored in chemistry, environmental and geographical sciences, and the organ first instrument. During his music studies, Gillian Linda, the South African College of Music concert coordinator, encouraged him to play the organ for the graduation ceremonies. Despite initially being nervous, he says he has grown to thoroughly enjoy being part of each ceremony. For Alexios, The love of teaching, learning, and research are in his bloodline. His father is Associate Professor George Vikatos, the renowned academic and inventor, and his mother, Evelyn Vikatos, who recently retired and was part-time communication lecturer in the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment's Academic Development Program aspect. His sister, Giselle, is nearing the end of her PhD, also in chemistry. Alexios, of course, before I tell you what he's registered for now, he's a very interesting young man. And I know my bosses tell me I should never have favorites, but I have to own up to this, Chairman of Council, that Alexios Vikatos does feature in my list of favorites. In addition to the many things he does, he also fixes the clock in the Michaelis School of the Arts, an old clock that nobody knows what to do with it, and Alexios fixes it. Alexios has currently registered for a PhD. He registered for a PhD in X-ray crystallography next year. Has registered for his PhD in X-ray crystallography next year, and his long-term goal is to pursue an academic career. Alexios will be following your progress and expect great things from you. I won't tell them about what you do at the City Hall. It's too long a story. Congratulations, Alexios. There you go. Now I introduce to you Mabuyi Mhlanga. Unspeakable tragedy struck Mabuyi Mhlanga's family 2 years ago when her young daughter was killed by a car while crossing the road. Instead of shying away from the pain and grief, Mabuyi decided to seek answers and heal herself by dedicating her time to completing her master's degree related to road safety around schools. Just a few months before the tragedy struck, Mabuyi had enrolled for UCT's Department of Civil Engineering Master's Program in Transport Studies. As the program manager of the eThekwini Municipality Go Durban project, she initially wanted to expand her knowledge. Following her daughter's death, however, she was plagued by questions surrounding the accident's circumstances, and she therefore turned her attention to road safety around schools. Mabuyi's study holds a lot of potential for sparking practical changes in South Africa. Her first proposal is to include practical road safety education in schools, combining theoretical knowledge with practical application on roads to young learners under adult supervision. Her other recommendation is to adopt a school zone concept common in many countries where within a 2-kilometer radius of primary schools, speed limits are lowered, speed humps are constructed, and traffic rules are enforced. While one can never fully recover from the loss of a child, Mhlanga says that doing this study and finding practical solutions has helped her deal with the loss and find peace. Congratulations, Mabuyi. Mabuyi is receiving degree of Master of Engineering in Transport Studies. Fantastic. We now welcome Kihilwe Nakedi. Kihilwe Nakedi's path to a degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Engineering has been characterized by commitment and passion, which she believes are vital ingredients for successful science. Her path to a PhD in medical science involved a series of events and interactions with various mentors, during which she discovered unexpected passions that helped her grow into the scientist she wants to be. Having graduated from the University of the Free State with a Bachelor of Biological Sciences, Kihilwe undertook a Bachelor of Medical Sciences honors in medical microbiology, followed by Masters of Medical Science in medical microbiology at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. She began her PhD in medical biochemistry at UCT in 2013. Kihilwe's academic journey wasn't always smooth sailing. 19 years stand between her starting her university career and being awarded her PhD today. Financial constraints meant that Nakedi was compelled to stall her studies, find work, and save before continuing. It was frustrating and required dogged determination, which included working to raise funds to pursue her postgraduate studies. This included working in a non-scientific position because even though she had graduated with a BSc, the university withheld her certificate because of outstanding fees, despite Kihilwe having national NSFAS funding. After listening to UCT's Professor Valerie Mizrahi, who's with us on stage this morning, she listened to Valerie Mizrahi give a talk at a tuberculosis drug discovery conference in 2009. She decided to become a tuberculosis researcher. Val, your influence. Kihilwe says, Prof. Mizrahi does not know it, but I'm actually at UCT because I'm following her. I want to be just like her. During the course of her PhD studies, Kihilwe has published 7 papers in top international journals in the field of proteomics, the study of the function of all expressed proteins. In addition, Kihilwe has presented her work overseas at international conferences. Kihilwe embodies tenacity, intellect, passion that great researchers exhibit. And we at UCT will be following her academic career with great interest and even greater expectation. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Chemical Biology, Kihilwe Nakedi. Alrighty. It is not often that 2 sets of brothers who share a close friendship graduate from the same 2 faculties on the same day, each having earned the title of doctor. The group of friends comprise Mario Grurich and friend Alex Beckwell, both graduating with PhDs in quantitative finance through the Commerce Faculty's African Institute of Financial Markets and Risk. And their younger respective siblings, Alessio Grurich and David Blackwell, who will be graduating as medical doctors through the Faculty of Health Sciences. I hope you get the story. Mario and Alex were classmates at UCT in their undergraduate, master's and PhD cohorts, and have remained close in the AFRIM research space for the past 4 years. They've criticized and encouraged each other throughout this journey. AFRIM's director, Associate Professor David Taylor, says he admires both brothers and refers to them as exemplary students with long history of excellence. Since the start of their studies 10 years ago, Mario and Alex have been friends and have taken many of the same classes. From 2009 to 2012, Alex pursued a Bachelor of Business Science specializing in quantitative finance, while Mario pursued a Bachelor of Business Science specializing in actuarial science. They then both did an MPhil in mathematical finance from 2013 to July 2014, and both went on to pursue PhDs in quantitative finance from July 2014 to 2018. Their younger siblings, Alessio and David, are good friends too, starting their studies together in 2013 and remaining in the same classes and courses for the following 6 years. They discovered that navigating their medical studies was sometimes quite tough, and together they formulated what David calls a lifeboat strategy. He says that it's important to try to surround yourself with people who make it easier to get by. Alessio is currently at Grooteskiel Hospital, while David is working at New Somerset Hospital. The 2 sets of brothers have enjoyed friendship both in and off classroom settings, providing valuable support to one another when times became tough in their academically demanding studies. Together, they form a formidable team. They've been able to bounce ideas off each other and maintain an important sense of perspective during their studies. Elder brother Alex Blackwell will graduate with the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Quantitative Finance in absentia, while young brother David Beckwell will be graduating tomorrow in the Faculty of Health Sciences ceremony with a degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Quantitative Finance, Mario Gurich. Congratulations, Mario. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you the brother for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in for the degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery, Alessio Gurich. Congratulations, Alessio. The Beckwell brothers are the ones who are not here. I now introduce to you Witness Kozanai, Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental and Geographical Studies. Candidates Witness Kozanai relied on his determination, the support and sacrifice of others, and a fascination for his homeland, Zimbabwe, to fuel his academic success. He was born in eastern Zimbabwe. Due to school closures during the war and liberation, he was already 11 when he was finally enrolled to study grade 1. In 1992, after completing his A-levels, Witness was appointed translator to a group of international researchers who were studying the value of trees near his home. This is when he first developed a passion for research. In 1994, he enrolled at an agricultural college. While studying, he simultaneously nurtured his interest in research by accepting short assignments from the University of Zimbabwe. As a result, having graduated with a diploma in 1996, he was appointed research assistant at the university, and with mentoring, was soon writing technical and journal articles. After successfully juggling work, studies, and family life, he went on to get his first degree from the Zimbabwe Open University. He later secured a scholarship to do his master's at Cranfield University at the time when his young family back home in Zimbabwe were experiencing many hardships. In 2010, Witness registered at UCT for his PhD, which focuses on the governance of the baobab tree. His research passion was fueled by a need to understand how people's livelihoods and the conservation of the baobab tree were affected by the interplay between customary practices and statutory laws, especially in a politically fraught context. It has not been an easy road for Witness, with a family in Zimbabwe and increasingly constrained bursary support for foreign students here in South Africa. Witness has pursued his PhD remotely, with occasional visits to Cape Town. Witness's achievements, intellectual capacity, and deep social commitment are humbling to us all, more especially given the difficult circumstances that he has faced. We salute you, Witness. Madam Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Environmental and Geographical Sciences, Witness Kozanai.
Madam Chancellor, I now invite you to extend your official congratulations to all of today's graduands.
Wow, what a morning of celebration, right? Indeed. Graduates, you had the best of advice and challenges and best wishes from our Vice-Chancellor. I will close saying, be in gratitude. Live in gratitude. It was an exceptional initiative to make sure that you graduate today with our Vice-Chancellor, out of her personal decision and effort to make sure that you are identified, you are brought back, you are supported, and you can have your credentials recognized. Be at service of others, in your workplace, in your community, in your country, in the world. Only those who live beyond themselves and serve others have a meaningful life, a fulfilling life. We have heard of extraordinary life stories. We as a nation, we need to tell these stories. The inspiring stories which have been lived by thousands and who knows millions of us. To understand, to value, and to own the reality that we are wonderful people. We shouldn't only be defined with our weaknesses, with our challenges. We are great. There are extraordinary life stories which are amongst us. Let us tell them. Let us make sure that they inspire others. And at the end, it cultivates the pride of being South Africans, of being Africans. Let's tell our own stories. Graduates, you will be associated, one, to your Vice-Chancellor, but you will be also associated to what she called the children who are being born today. But it's not only for graduates, for each one of us to give our contribution, our conscious and intentional contribution to make sure that those children are going to grow, to thrive, and to achieve their full potential. That the realities of poverty, of inequality, of injustice, of violence should be realities we consciously remove from our daily life. And that those children, like some of those who have been a good example of thriving, they will live in a different world than the one many of us have grown in. Finally, I want to say there are so many extraordinary research and papers which are in our university and our universities, by the way. All our universities. I don't believe they have been put out there to influence policymakers, to influence practitioners, to influence business. I mean, to become the nurturing transformation which we need, which is based in evidence which research provides. There's lots of knowledge, lots of recommendations which, if they are implemented, will make our society much more vibrant, much more healthier, and much more prosperous. We have to find ways. We have so many vice-chancellors here. We have to find better ways of putting out there the wealth and richness of knowledge which is generated in our higher institutions to be part of what helps the communities to transform and to live better. And I want to say, I'm sorry, Prof. Saunders, and I saw also Professor Phakeng, and I didn't recognize you simply because I was a little bit taken when I introduced my first welcomes, and you are mostly welcome, and we are so happy that you join us today. And I wish that this ceremony will live with us in our hearts and minds as an extraordinary morning of celebration. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Machel. Since forming in early 2014, Anecdote have been featured on international television in Germany and Switzerland, and have performed live on big stages in South Africa and on ETV's Expresso show, which incidentally has invited them back for a record 10 times. They were crowned the winner of South Africa's Got Talent in 2017. Please welcome Leah Adams, Amy Campbell, Mornay Katz, Jessie Keegan, Jules, and Kevin Smuts, who will perform Dance Again, followed by a medley of favorites, including Brenda Fasie's Weekend Special.
That's the one. Come back and see me once again. In the middle of the night, you'll be here again. Just to be here by my side again. Come back and see me once again. Baby, baby, come again. Baby, baby, come again. Baby, baby, come again. We got way too much in common. We got too way much in common. If I'm being honest with you, we got way too much in common. We got too way much in common. We got too way much in common. Said I'll be home by 5. We got too way much in common. Back and see the light. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the one. Come back and see me once again. In the middle of the night, you'll be here again. Just to be here by my side again. Come back and see me once again. Baby, baby, come again. Baby, baby, come again. Baby, baby, come again. Baby, baby, that's the one. Thank you.
Shibashilene, shikuteka, shikuteke, shibangof. Shibashilene, shikuteka, shikuteke, da shibangof, da shy, shy, dum, 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 da, dum, 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 shy, 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 da, dum, 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 da, dum, 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 da, dum, 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 dum,
You don't come around and sing with to see me in the week. You don't have a chance to call me on the phone. But Friday night, yes, I know I must be ready for you. Just be waiting for you. I know weekend special. I know weekend special. I know weekend special. I know weekend. Tati Scoob, who's Phakeng Hezoswen, uvaga maspects uzoza, ubo nano bulapo, Tati Scoob, who's Phakeng uvaga maspects uzoza,
ubo nano bulapo.
nano bulapo, Tati Scoob, who's Phakeng Hezoswen, uvaga maspects uzoza, ubo nano bulapo. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Anecdote. We can see why ETV doesn't want to leave you alone. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the ceremony. On behalf of the University of Cape Town, I wish to record our gratitude to all who have attended today. I acknowledge the extraordinary contributions of multiple teams of colleagues across many departments at UCT. Colleagues, you continue to do UCT proud. Thank you sincerely. The Chancellor will shortly dissolve the congregation. I ask that you remain standing while the platform party exits this venue. The platform party will then be followed by the graduands. Please proceed to the end of the steps, and to avoid a crush at the exit of this venue, go right down to the plaza. It's a fantastic day in Cape Town, so use the photo opportunities on the plaza, please. And from there, if you follow the directions to the right, my right, in the direction that I'm pointing now, make your way to the Leslie building, where you are invited to enjoy some of UCT's hospitality. The Chancellor will now dissolve the congregation. I ask you to all please stand.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape Town.